The journey of spirituality is about you coming into the understanding, the realization that you are the creator of your reality. You are the creator of your universe. And as you go through this journey, it's important to identify the pivotal, fundamental aspects of what that means, right? What are the steps for you to get to self-realization? What are the steps for you to get to understanding how to manifest the things that you desire, the things that align with consciousness, and thus create the reality of abundance, right? Living and understanding that experience. We understand abundance on a very superficial, shallow level when it comes to all of the readings that you've been through, all of the content and information that you have experienced and read through and seen, that the universe is abundant, right? That you are an extension of that universe, and therefore you are abundant as well. And it goes as deep as to stating that you are the creator because you were created by the creator. You are one with that creator, right? You are, by definition, God of your universe. And so we understand that conceptually, how do we begin the process of realizing that, right? How do we begin the process of getting to a point where we are not just simply knowing it, but we are in fact being it? And lately I've been talking a lot about self-love because self-love is that beginning process, is that first profound step toward you getting to the self-realization process or understanding. And now, what I want you to understand, though, is with self-love, the importance about self-love is that it will increase your vibration and it will magnetize your goals, your desires, and your understanding of self. And that is what we want to do. We want to, invigorate. We want to rejuvenize. We want to, charge up this state of experiencing life from a point of view of knowing that this life is made for you to enjoy, is made for you to have fun, is made for you to explore, whether that is an internal process or an external process. But it is there for you to make a choice as to how you're going to live up to the realization that you are the creator, right? And so as you take on this journey of self-love, it starts with acceptance, right? Because I believe another word for love is in fact acceptance. It is accepting who you are at this very moment. Acceptance also can look like being present to the now, right? You are accepting the current moment as it is. And so when we take it towards ourselves, then you can now look at yourself from a point of view of love, not criticizing the things you don't like about yourself, not only identifying with those things as to who you are, because we've established that you are not your gender, you are not your race, you are not your emotions, you are not your thoughts, you are not your beliefs. Those are just expressions of consciousness, right? Those are expressions of consciousness that you have on many levels chosen to experience this life, but they are not you. And so when you pull away the identities of these things, right, and identifying and labeling and thinking that these are who you are, then you begin to understand the true essence of consciousness, the true essence of being the witness of those things, right? When you meditate, meditation is the practice of recognizing that, okay, I am not my thoughts. I am simply witnessing these thoughts as they come in and out of my mind. I am that which is observing and having the thoughts, but I am not the thoughts. So as you practice meditation, that carries over into understanding that you are not these things as well. You are not your race. You are not your gender. You are not your sexual orientation. They are just expressions. They are just things that you experience and things that you are having in the moment. And so as you get into self-love, you begin to identify that though, yes, they are not you, you can still practice a level of acceptance that they are there, right? You are here. This is who you are, the good, the bad, and the quote unquote, the ugly. Ultimately, though, all those things make you complete and whole as an individual. And though there is still a lot to go forward in this journey when it comes to recognizing that, yeah, you have things that you do not feel are representations of your true self, meaning you wish to be a better person, you wish to be the best version of yourself. It is necessary for you to acknowledge and not be resistant or avoid the fact that these are parts of your character, right? These are characteristics of who you presently are in the moment. And when you look at those things and you say, okay, I accept that. I accept that these are my good attributes. These are my not so good attributes, right? Bad attributes, things that I don't like about myself. You still can come from a place of love in seeing those things, right? And that's what we're talking about, is just allowing yourself to see yourself. And when you can see what's really there, instead of ignoring it, instead of shunning it, instead of being shameful and not wanting to look at it and deal with it, you can actually now see it, present it in front of you, and thus say, okay, this is what it is. When you acknowledge that this is what it is at the present moment, then you can fully address those things and you can say, okay, this is what it is. All right, I am not the healthiest I can be, right? I am not financially stable, right? And so we can look at those things. I am not in the most loving situation or the most loving that I can be in my relationship. So therefore, I need to look at that. And when I look at that, it doesn't mean that you have to address those things at that very moment. It doesn't mean you need to be resistant or fight the current state of your mind, right? It just means you get to look at it and just simply observe it. And when you observe it, you begin to acknowledge and you begin to see the correlation between how you're being and the results that you're creating. And ultimately, what it is that you truly desire, right? So it's just a matter of having all of the cards laid out on the table and seeing, okay, this is who I am right now. This is not who I truly am, but this is who I am right now. And if I can see who I am right now, and I can connect the reality that I'm creating, in other words, the things that I am experiencing in life, when you are able to do that, when you are able to look at everything that you are, look at the results that you're getting in life, see that those results are not resonating with your consciousness. In other words, you're not happy with your current life or your current situation, then you can understand that, okay, now is when you need to make changes. And then you can proactively, understandably make those changes because you now see the connection between that and what it is that you're creating. You can see the cause and effect. And then once you understand the cause and effect, right, from a place of love, again, not from a place of guilt, shame, not from a place of judgment, not from a place of comparing yourself to other people, but simply acknowledging that those other people are not there for you to compare in a way that is negative, but they are there to just give you some insight, to give you a reflection of yourself. And when you're able to do that, then you can say to yourself, okay, this way of being does not and will not result in the desire that I have for myself, the desire that I seek to manifest and materialize. And once you understand that desire, then you can pull it back and reverse engineer it to a new way of being, which is who you truly are. You see, your desire is the lighthouse. It is the North Star toward you being who you're meant to be. But you have to take a real serious look at yourself, right? This is what I call self-love. Take a real serious look at yourself without judgment, without shame. but with the acceptance that this is what it is right now, with the understanding that when you make the connections between what is right now and what it is creating for you versus what it is you desire, then you start to subconsciously and consciously begin to make the changes. And this is how your vibration increases. This is how your vibration goes higher and higher. It's not the kind of work that takes, serious willpower or discipline, even though those are aspects of it that comes later on. But all that's required really is observation. All that's required really is awareness. And then when you are able to be aware and you're able to see, okay, the big picture, and you're honest with yourself, you're accepting of yourself, then the change will naturally happen. And then you will increase your vibration because you'll see that which you desire doesn't match with who you're currently being. And you just simply naturally have to change who you are currently being to create the effect of that which you desire. And then you begin to magnetize your goals, and your goals become something that supports you in seeing the change happening within you, seeing the evolution, seeing the, self-realization materializing itself, happening. The transformation is taking place because your goals, though we use goals as a means to, conceptualize and create steps, right, to walk the path, it is also a mechanism, just like manifestation is a mechanism for self-reflection and seeing, oh, okay, I materialized that. I accomplished that goal because I am that which I desire to be. You see, if you are not accomplishing the goals, it is because that which you desire is not truly what you desire to be. This is the thing. So a lot of people, we have these crazy wants, things that we want in life, right? And I often talk about how wants usually stem from the ego, whereas desire stems from consciousness. So many times people want these things and they're not accomplishing them, right? They're doing all the things, but they're not accomplishing them because the true aspect of who they are, consciousness, does not really align with that want, right? That want is not pure and connected with consciousness. And when you understand that, then you truly recognize, oh, this is the difference between want and desire, because desire is directly connected and an expression of consciousness. And that's when you do the work. That's when no matter how long it takes, no matter how much work, quote unquote, you have to put into it, right? You feel it. Even as you're doing it, you feel there's a connection happening. You feel the love within you coming out. That is true connection. That is the consciousness truly, right, living up to and aligning with its purpose. And that's what you need to focus on, right? So it starts with self-love of recognizing who you're currently being. And then when you recognize that and understand the correlation between what you're currently creating, does that match with your desires? If it doesn't, then you have to think about that consistently. Just contemplate that over and over and over again. And you will naturally come to a point where you say, okay, I have to do something different. And then that's when the change happens. That's when your vibration elevates and increases. That's when you magnetize your goals and understand that your goals thus do create a result. They send you on a path, right? And you establish and make these landmark achievements. But those landmark achievements also help you to validate your desire and validate who you truly are. So this journey continues to compound upon itself. It continues to build a momentum of self-realization, a momentum of manifestation, materialization, creation of your universe, creation of the reality that is destined for you, the true you. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com, subscribe to my daily newsletter, and get access to this free ebook, The Power Within. I also invite you, join my Conscious Creator Circle and learn more about techniques that will help you to truly tap into the creator that is you and thus create the reality that you desire. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.